If you'd like to know why Jordan Peterson says he acts as if God exists, then listen to this entire video where I explain how the concept of God is not something that is simply intellectual and plays out in your mind. It is something that you feel, and what you feel is what you act out, so to say. So before we get into this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Let's get into it. So obviously Jordan Peterson is an advocate of the value that Christianity, more specifically the Bible, has to offer. And naturally, because of this tendency for Christianity, many interviews have asked him, "Jordan, do you believe in God?" Now, he always replies with the answer, "I behave, I act as if God exists." When I first heard this, I thought, what are you talking about, mate? I didn't grasp what he meant, but now I do. The key here is that the concept of God is more than just an intellectual model. It is something that appeals to your entire body. It is sort of like an abstraction of your existence, which also includes your body and your feelings. Now the question, do you believe in God, only seems to appeal to what you think in your mind. But God is not something you think, it is something you feel. Hence the question is insufficient. I don't think the concept of God would have outlived empires and castles if it was only appealing to a section of your human nature, your mind. It appeals to more than just your mind. It appeals to your entire being. What you feel is connected to your body, right? And your body is the thing that acts out your behavior. Hence, if you truly grasp the concept of God, then you feel, even though the verb feel doesn't really do the phenomenon justice, but you feel with your entire being, and then you act as if God exists because it encompasses it kind of guides your entire being, not just your mind or what you think, but your whole, everything that's incorporated in what you are, your behavior also. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Jordan Peterson says he acts as if God exists. Now, I have a metaphor to help deconstruct this, what I'm talking about, and why many religious believers don't grasp what God really means. So, many religious believers talk about God, obviously, but they seem to simply be discussing it as if it is an external concept, not as if it is part of themselves and as if they have experienced it themselves. What happens is the following. Religion is like a pair of glasses. These believers talk about the glasses and describe the glasses, but do not then proceed to put the glasses on themselves. They do not feel what the concept of God is. They only regurgitate what they've read in the Bible, for example. But when you truly comprehend what God is, then you see the world through these lenses, through these different lenses, and you actually put on the glasses instead of only talking about it. And once you wear the glasses, you see through the glasses, and when you see the world through glasses, different glasses, you see it with a new color. Whilst just saying, yeah, I believe in God, that doesn't really substantiate anything. That doesn't really mean much. That just means that you hold the glasses in your hand, but it doesn't mean you actually wear them. Hence, wearing the glasses entails experiencing the world differently, which is all about how you behave and being present in the physical, It's not about your intellect and what you think in your mind. I mean, we can easily be dissociated where our mind and body are out of sync. Hence, just saying you believe something doesn't mean you actually experience it with your entire body, your entire existence, And what's basically happening is an overemphasis of the intellect in modern day. People are trying to reduce the concept of God to something merely scientific and intellectual and logical, which it is not, because I would say our ancestors developed the concept of God whilst observing human nature, as Jordan Peterson explains. And human nature is not just the intellectual, it is behavior, it is what you feel, it is what you sense, it is everything. And God is kind of like an abstraction of that. So it is not just your intellect, you know? So what's happening is this overemphasis of the intellect and an undervaluation of your senses, your feeling, yes, that which is not physical, let's say. And I've been reading a book that Jordan Peterson has highly recommended called The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And the book kind of is all about how the focus on science, logic, and the intellect is insufficient in order to, let's say, shift humanity towards a positive trajectory, a trajectory of meaning, let's say, and away from suffering. It's insufficient because you need to experience God and feel it and act it out. And one character called Alyosha in the book has an excellent quote, a profound quote, which really hits the head on the nail. He says, "Love should come before logic. Only then will man be able to understand the meaning of life." Boom, there you go. What he's saying is, before you can grasp the meaning of life, maybe that is a synonym to God, but the meaning of life, you first need to feel love. Put on the lenses and look at love, look at the world through the lenses of love. And love is not probably what you think, but it's a sense of forgiveness, or it's a sense of understanding, tolerance, and just appreciation, gratitude, I would say. And once you have that, then you can integrate the intellect into your personality. But if you haven't taken the step of incorporating the love into your personality, then you won't be able to grasp the meaning of life, and you will not find the meaning of life, because the meaning of life is something you feel, not something you think. Mic drop. That's it. So in conclusion, Jordan Peterson says he acts as if God exists because the concept of God is not something you think merely, but it is something that you experience and you feel, and therefore you act it out in your behavior. It encompasses your entire being. And people nowadays are very focused on science, which is quite beneficial. It's not simply merely, it doesn't just merely lead to nihilism or so, but or reduce everything to like matter, but it deprives humans of, I think, an essential part of their existence, which is the non-physical part, potentially spiritual part, that would, I would say, open the door for people to experience God, let's say. Yeah. So please leave a comment below whether you understand, or whether you understood before what Jordan Peterson meant when he said he acts as if God exists, because I didn't comprehend it for a long time, but now I finally grasped it whilst I've been reading The Brothers Karamazov, which he recommended himself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Thank you for listening.